After yesterday's lesson, something may have shifted, even slightly. The recognition that grievances are not passive, that they actively work against your own peace, can land with unexpected weight. Today, the Course builds on that directly. But instead of focusing on what you are doing against yourself, it turns to what you actually want, what your will, at its deepest level, truly is. I will there be light. 5 words. And within them, one of the most important distinctions in the entire Course, the difference between the ego's idle wishes and the will you share with God. This lesson is not about effort. It is about remembering, about recognizing that the will you have been looking for has been yours all along. Let's look carefully at what the Course is saying here. The lesson opens with a contrast that deserves careful attention. On one side, the ego's idle wishes. These are the desires that arise from fear, from lack, from the belief in separation. They generate the world you see, a world populated with grievances, with figures who seem to threaten you, with a constant low hum of anxiety beneath ordinary life. The Course calls these wishes idle, not because they are harmless in their effects, but because they are powerless in terms of what is real. They can produce a world of illusions. They cannot create anything true. On the other side, the will you share with God. This is not a wish. It is not a preference or a hope. It has, in the Course's words, all the power of creation in it. It is the will that brought you into being. It is the will that cannot be lost, only temporarily forgotten. Here is the connection to yesterday. Grievances and idle wishes are partners. They work together to maintain the darkened world you look upon. Grievances people that world with figures who seem to attack you, who seem to justify your judgment, who seem to confirm that you were right to be afraid. Every grievance you hold adds another figure to the picture. Every figure in the picture reinforces the belief that the world is what the ego says it is. But here is what the lesson asks you to notice. That world cannot have been created by the will you share with God. Would God create disaster for His Son? Would the Creator of life build a world that kills? Creation is the will of both together, Father and Son, united in love. The world of suffering and darkness is not their creation. It is the product of idle wishes and grievances, maintained by your belief. And you can withdraw that belief. Now for the practice. The longer practice periods today begin with a clear recognition. God's plan for salvation is wholly in accord with your will, not imposed on you from outside. Not the agenda of some alien authority, the one purpose in which you and your Father are in perfect agreement. From that recognition, you say, with what the Course calls gentle firmness and quiet certainty, I will there be light. Let me behold the light that reflects God's will and mine. Then you let your will assert itself. You join with God and with yourself. You place the rest of the practice period under their guidance and follow where they lead. For the shorter practice periods, several times each hour, the form is simpler. I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. And most importantly, the moment you feel a grievance rising, the moment someone's words sting or a memory surfaces, or the familiar tightening of judgment begins, apply this immediately, not after the grievance has taken hold. At the first sign, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. The Course asks for discipline here, not rigid performance, but consistent willingness. No alarms are needed. What is needed is a sincere intention to return to this idea throughout the day. There is a question at the center of this lesson that the Course asks directly, and it is worth sitting with honestly. Do you really want to be in hell? Not as a theological question, as a practical one. Do you really want to continue weeping, suffering, feeling betrayed, feeling alone, feeling that the world is threatening and that peace is always just out of reach? The ego will try to argue that yes, in fact, this is happiness, that your grievances are justified, that your suffering proves your innocence, that holding firm in your judgments is a form of integrity. The Course acknowledges this. It says the ego seeks to prove all this is really heaven. But you know it is not so. This is the foundation of today's lesson, and it is surprisingly sturdy. You cannot genuinely want suffering. Beneath every layer of ego argument, beneath every, but they really did wrong me, and I have every right to feel this way, beneath all of it, you know that suffering is not what you want. Happiness is what you want. Peace is what you want. Light is what you want. And because that is true, salvation is what you want. The Course is not asking you to manufacture desire for something foreign. It is asking you to recognize what you have always desired. Your will, in truth, is already aligned with God's plan. You have no real will that opposes it. What opposes it is the ego. And today, the lesson says something striking about that. Today, it is the ego that stands powerless before your will. Powerless, not powerful and threatening, not the formidable adversary it presents itself as. Powerless because your will, joined with God's, has all the power of creation behind it, and the ego has only idle wishes. This is not a pep talk. It is an ontological statement. The ego's apparent strength depends entirely on your belief in it. Remove that belief, even partially, even for a moment, and what seemed so solid begins to dissolve. Consider what actually happens when a grievance arises. Something occurs. Someone says something dismissive, or a situation unfolds in a way that feels unfair. In that moment, before conscious thought engages, something in the mind reaches for the grievance like a familiar object. It knows exactly where it is. It has been kept carefully, perhaps for years. The Course is not asking you to pretend that didn't happen. It is asking you to catch it before you fully embrace it. And in that moment, before the story builds, to say, I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. What this does is interrupt the automatic reach. It inserts a choice where before there was only reaction. Not, I will suppress this, or I will pretend I feel nothing, but a genuine declaration of what you actually want at a level deeper than the ego's complaint. You are reminding yourself in that moment that you have a will, and that your will is for light, not darkness. Over the course of a day, practiced consistently, this begins to shift something. Not dramatically, not all at once. But the habit of reaching for grievances weakens when it is met, again and again, with a clear and simple declaration of what you truly want. The light the Course refers to is not a metaphor for positivity. It is the light of truth, the awareness that what you are is not a body in a dangerous world, but a mind whose nature is love, temporarily obscured by beliefs that can be released. That light is already in you. It does not need to be created. It needs to be uncovered. Your picture of the world mirrors what is within. When grievances darken the mind, the world looks dark. When forgiveness lifts those grievances, when the will for light reasserts itself, what you look upon changes. Not because the world has changed, but because what you are bringing to it has. Here is something to notice as you move through today. The ego presents itself as protecting you. It says, hold on to this grievance. If you let it go, you are saying what happened was acceptable. You are making yourself vulnerable. You are being naive. But what has holding it actually given you? Look honestly at the cost. The mental replay, the tightening in the chest, the conversations you have in your mind with people who aren't present, the way a single grievance can color an entire day, or an entire relationship, or an entire decade. And then consider, you have a will that is stronger than all of that, a will that does not need grievances to feel safe, a will that knows its own strength because it is sourced in something that cannot be threatened. The lesson says you want to succeed today, and that you will succeed because what you are seeking is what you genuinely want. This is not wishful thinking. It is recognition. You are not trying to want something foreign. You are uncovering a want that has always been yours. Each time you return to the practice, you are not pushing against your nature, you are returning to it. I will there be light. That is not a wish, that is your will, remembered. Lesson 73 arrives like a quiet turning point. After recognizing in yesterday's lesson what grievances actually do, today the Course asks, then what do you choose instead? And the answer is not complicated. It is not a lengthy spiritual program or a discipline requiring years of preparation. It is a declaration, made as many times as necessary, of what is true about you right now. I will there be light. Darkness is not my will. Your will is free. Nothing can prevail against it. Not the ego's arguments, not the habit of grievance, not the apparent weight of a world that seems to confirm that darkness is real. You share your will with God, and that will is for light. Practice today with the confidence the Course offers you. Not the ego's false confidence, which needs constant reassurance. The quiet certainty of knowing what you want and knowing that what you want is already available to you. This channel reaches people in 68 countries. Wherever you are today, this lesson is for you. If it has offered you even a moment of clarity or peace, please share it. Let it find whoever needs it. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you in the next lesson.